back to Learn Economia. In this video, we'll be discussing certain solved sample questions for UGC NET. Actually, we have started all these kinds of discussion a bit earlier, and we are continuing with the same. Coming to the first question of this session, we can see that you are given certain aspects with respect to liquid assets like demand deposit with banks, time deposit with banks, saving deposit with banks, and currency. You have to see the correct sequence of these things in decreasing order of its liquidity. So you have to understand one thing, that the question is asking for the decreasing order. You have to be very careful about whether the question is asking about increasing order or decreasing order. In this particular instance, or in this question, it is asked about decreasing orders. And decreasing orders of liquidity. Here the right answer is option D, 4, 1, 3, 2. That is first currency, then currency has got the highest liquidity. It is the most liquid asset. Next, it is demand deposit, then time deposit, then come after demand deposit there is saving deposit, then comes time deposit. Time deposit is the last because you cannot go and withdraw it in the way you want. It has some, bank has got some procedures, formalities, etc. for the withdrawal, etc. with respect to time deposit. So it is considered to be the least liquid out of the 4 given here. With that, we move on to the next question. Here you are given certain statements with respect to the statutory reserve requirements. So just read the statements. First one, to enable the central bank to control the amount of advances the banks can create, then to make the people's deposits with the bank safe and liquid, then to prevent the commercial banks from making excessive profits, then to force the banks to have sufficient fund or sufficient vault cash to meet their day-to-day requirements. You have to see which is the right, which sentences are the right. Here the right option is option B, 1 and 2. Only sentence 1 and 2 are right. That is statutory reserve requirement would enable the central bank to control the amount of advances the bank can create, and also this is to make the people's deposit with the bank safe as well as liquid. Now coming to the third question about rural infrastructure. The Rural Infrastructure Fund was set up in 95-96, and this is maintained by whom? Reserve Bank of India, State Bank of India, NABARD, and Regional Rural Bank. You have to read a lot about the Rural Infrastructure Fund. Though it was set up in 1995-96 period, we could see that its implication is still felt now. So the right answer here is option C, NABARD, which stands for National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. Next question. The head office of the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, or NABARD, is located where? Lucknow, Hyderabad, Delhi, and Mumbai. Right answer is Mumbai. We know that it helps the farmers, NABARD helps the farmers to access timely as well as adequate credit. The current chairman is Harsh Kumar Banwala. Next question. Which is not a source of agriculture finance in India? You have to be very careful by reading the question. Here the word not is very important. So here the options are cooperative societies, commercial bank, regional rural banks, and none of this. You have to understand that all the options given here, all the options except option D, are some or the other source of agriculture finance in India. It will be providing finance under various heads to farmers to purchase fertilizer, seeds, etc. So the right answer here is option D, none of these. All the above things are actually sources of agriculture credit in India. Now another question pertaining to NABARD. NABARD was established in which 5-year plan, or it was in the duration of which 5-year plan, or it was in the period of which 5-year plan NABARD was introduced? 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th. We can see that the right answer is option C, 6th 5-year plan. It was actually established on July 12, 1982. It was by a special act by the Parliament, which focuses on to the upliftment of rural India by increasing the credit flow for the elevation of agriculture as well as rural non-farm structure. It is for achieving all these kinds of objectives. NABARD was set up on July 12, 1982. Question 7. In India, 7 question says that in India, which of the following has a larger share in the disbursement of credit to agriculture and allied activities? Options: commercial banks, cooperative banks, regional rural banks, microfinance institutions. Here the right answer is option A, commercial banks, which has got the highest share in the disbursement of credit to agriculture and as well as allied activity. I mean, it has got a higher share of disbursement of credit to the primary sector. Then comes the cooperative banks. Then comes the other banks. Actually, here commercial banks disburse around 60% of the credit. Next question, choose the correct statements in the context of cooperative banks in India. Cooperative banks operate on no profit, no loss basis. Cooperative banks are allowed to operate in agriculture sector. Only in agriculture sector. NABARD is a cooperative bank. Just by reading itself, you can pick up the right answer. It is option A. That is only sentence 1 is right. Cooperative banks can operate on no profit, no loss basis. We know that National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, which is NABARD, it is an apex development bank in India with respect to agriculture. It is not a cooperative bank. Next question. Regional rural banks grant direct loans and advances to marginal farmers and rural artisans. NABARD is responsible for laying down policies to oversee the operations of regional rural banks. The right answer is both 1 and 2, that is option C. Now in India, Report on Currency and Finance is the annual publication of which body? SEBI, RBI, Finance Commission and Finance Ministry. The right answer is Reserve Bank of India. It actually annually publishes this report on currency as well as finance, which highlight the evaluation or devaluation of rupee as a currency along with other aspects. SEBI, you know, it is the regulator for security market in India. SEBI stands for Securities and Exchange Board of India, which has got its headquarters in Mumbai. And for coming to Finance Commission, it is formed to define the financial relations between the central government and the states, which has got its headquarter Delhi. And Finance Ministry, as we all know, it's a ministry under the Government of India, which will deal with economic policies and programs to deal with the economic situations. Next question, how many seats of deputy governor are there in Reserve Bank of India? Be very careful. It has asked about deputy governor. It is not about governor. Deputy governor it is asked. So we have to understand that the options 1, 2, 3 and 4. In the case of Reserve Bank of India, we have 1 governor and 4 deputy governors. So right answer is option D, 4. Who is the new chairman of Life Insurance Corporation of India, LIC? We know that it's the largest insurance company in India. We have to see who is the chairman, current chairman. Options are S.K. Roy, D.K. Malhotra, Thomas Mathew and V.K. Sharma. The right answer is option D, V.K. Sharma. Next question, on which date is the establishment of State Bank of India celebrated? We have to see that the State Bank of India, it came into being as the Imperial Bank of India on July 1, 1955. And now State Bank of India is a multinational banking and financial service company which is based in India. It has got its headquarters in Mumbai. Now it is a multinational public sector banking and financial institution who has got Rajneesh Kumar as its chairperson. The right answer of this question is option C, 1st July. That is when the State Bank of India was established as the Imperial Bank of India. Okay. The apex organization of industrial finance in India is IDBI, Reserve Bank of India, ICICI and IFCI. Right answer, IDBI. It is the bank which stands for Industrial Development Bank of India, which has got its headquarters in Mumbai. Next question, RBI's first census of India's foreign assets and liability was conducted in June 30. It was conducted on June 13, 1948. It revealed that the total foreign exchange business investment of 302 crore, out of which what was the percentage of British investment in India? The right answer is option C, 72. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel for more videos, and be a part of my Telegram channel and Telegram group to discuss your doubts. I'll be providing the link of the same in the description box. Thank you.